Hola and buenas tardes. And for anyone who doesn't speak Spanish, that's hello, how are you? Good evening. Anyhow, you can probably hear I'm full of the flu, so big apologies for that. But we're here live from Spain, so I hope everybody can hear properly. Although I've got my voice seems a bit rough, I hope obviously it's coming through loud and clear. Again, weeks go round so quick. A few interesting things this week, and I didn't want to miss the show because I think there's a lot going on right now. A couple of the issues that have been I've seen brought up. Brett, how you doing? Nice to see you there, mate. I hope it sounds all good. I hope you're having a good start to the week. You too, matey. And yeah, there's been some good issues around this week flying around on LinkedIn. There's been a post from the APP, which I'll share with you in a moment. There's been another couple of big repairers apparently have gone to the wall, which is so sad. I don't know who they are at the moment because I'm in Spain. I haven't had a chance to find that out. If anyone else does know, please drop us a comment. But a huge shame. I've been, there was another post where I think I'll try and find that. Richard Steer mentioned something about the cost of electric and gas going up. It has gone through the roof. I've been saying this for months, just saying how bad it's been since a few months' time, and we're not going to know how much profit we're making because it keeps going up. So, and it is going up, you know, a lot, not a little bit. It's going up a lot, which is, I think, is very scary. So, I think, you know, we really need to start sharing information with each other, guys. And I'm also tonight going to touch on non-fault accidents. I want to hear your opinion. I'm going to start doing something on one of my other channels about the non-fault accident scene. So we'll have a little chat on that a little bit later. So obviously it sounds like all good. Lee, how you doing? Nice to have a few people tuning in. I believe the weather's fantastic back home. So Chantal Remahidez have to prove that the income money wise entering Spain. Did you have to prove the income money? No, I'm only on holiday, so no, that was all okay. Hola to Colin Keeler. How you doing, pal? Phil's Shedden's in as well. Fantastic. I bet you're all in the garden, and I have to be honest, I'm not going to lie, I'm in Spain, so I've had a little gin and tonic, and I think I deserve it. Obviously, got to keep my throat moist because of me cold. Anyway, guys, I'll crack on, of course. Oh, Ivan's in as well. Fantastic, Ivan. Nice to see you all tuning in, guys. That's why I thought I'm not going to miss the show for a few weeks because it's I think we're really starting to generate some interaction, which of course is fantastic for us. So I'm just going to try and quickly share a few comments that have come in again, because these stats, when you see the stats come up on the show, please join in with them because they really do help to give us a little overview, excuse me, of what is going on in the industry. And I think that's really important, especially now, because there is some, you know, just so much bad things going on. Does anybody know about the body shop that has gone into liquidation, which is a huge shame? Does anybody know who they are? Has anybody found that out yet? Again, it is worrying times. It could be anybody at any time, I think, which is obviously a big worry. But if anyone knows who that is, I'd you know, appreciate knowing who it is. Tim Kelly, how you doing? Only here for 5 as I'm on my way out. What, you're not cooking tonight? You're going out for food? All good, matey. Hope you're well too. I'm just trying to quickly find, if I can, my my folder with a couple of the where's it gone? Right, just bear with me while I grab that folder. Right, here we go. So there's I'm just going to share this screen with you, and then I'll start going over a few bits and pieces from the week. So Google Chrome app would like to record this screen. Grant access to this. Would like to record this screen. Open that. Sorry about this, guys and girls, because I'm in Spain. Something always goes wrong, of course, but you just bear with me. There's always something. Is that going to allow me now to do it? It's all right. It's just telling me now because I mean, realise I'm in Spain. It's all clever stuff. All clever stuff. Anyway, guys, everybody busy. The sun is obviously, it's fantastic, but it's obviously hard to, you know, to work in. It's hard for the staff. I know that for sure. Window. Let's find it. Right. I've got the window that I'm going to share with you. I would like to find out who went down as well. Richard Knight, how you doing, buddy? You all right? So, yeah, cooked early. You're going to go out and enjoy the sun. I don't blame you. Do not blame you. Well done, Tim. Well, I don't know who the body shop is. When I get back, of course, I will find out who it is, unless Tim Kelly knows who. There's a couple of body shops went, which is a shame. Andy, how you doing? You okay, mate? So let's just have a look by starting off I'm going to quickly jump into a couple of things. One of the, if you was on the show last week, if you joined in, you'll realize I spoke about Andrew Bird. How you doing? About the AA insurance, how we had a customer that couldn't get the car booked in anywhere, and they couldn't, I think they had to wait till about October or something like that. So the customer said, I don't want to drive around in my car. So they came to us and said, look, can you repair my car? Yes, we can get you in and we can give you a car, not a problem. The AA then doubled his excess, which was problem one. And straight, of course, we're challenging it and what have you. But this is, for me, I just don't understand how these insurers are treating their customers. AA, if you're watching, I'm absolutely appalled. Then when we tried to book him in to get a courtesy car, they said, we won't cover the courtesy car because you're not having it repaired at our garage. Now, this is treating customers fairly, apparently, but they can't book him until October. So for me, that has to be a breach of contract, and it's a real, really bad as far as I'm concerned. And I got in touch with somebody from the AA and from customer services, and they answered me and they spoke to me, and I said, look, just really disappointed with how you're handling this, because you are the AA, and I thought you would give your customers a better service. So they got in touch with, they said, don't worry, I told them exactly the problem. They said, we're going to get in touch with the client. Fantastic. I thought, give it a couple of days. Waited a couple of days to hear back. And he said, yes, they did get in touch with me. They asked me not to use you, to wait and go through their own approved repair centre. I'm like, what a waste of time. And I'm absolutely really now even more disappointed with the customer services, because they listened to the problem. I said, look, you're just upsetting your customer. And I think it's really bad, really. I feel for them, because the guy just wants his car repaired. Do you want to look at trying to fix this or not? Anyway, their way of fixing it was, of course, by telling him to carry on and use them. I thought it was a disgrace. So, yeah, bad times out there. Insurers just do, capacity problems and capacity issues. No, there's not. All you need to do is, is let your customers go to a repairer if you can't fit them in. So I thought that was a little bit of a disgrace. So just bear with me. I'm just going to try and share this to you. Chrome has lost permission to, yes, I get that, but how can I now share? Trying to share one of my screens. But it's not at the moment allowing me to do so. Right, so what I'll have to do, I can't leave the site. It's telling me to log out and log back in again. I'm not going to do that, so I'll just go through the polls. I normally like to share these with you, but it's not allowing me to, unfortunately, to share that screen. Just bear with me while I try and go through that. It wouldn't be... there we go. Right, now I think I'll be able to get this shared with you. Right, here we go. Because the next one, of course, now is, I thought that was really bad and I thought it's disgusting. Dave Bartlett is the head of the AA services. That's true. I'll probably give him a call, Tim, see what he says, because it was customer services that I spoke to. I just think it's a disgrace in our industry for a poor customer who wants his car repaired and couldn't get it repaired. It's not fair. It's not right. What are the FCA? Matthew Cooper says, sorry about this, gang. Let me just grab that. What are the FCA doing to keep these insurance companies following their rules? Who holds the FCA to account? Tim Kelly will probably help you there, because you're right. I think it's a disgrace. I really, really thought that poor customer just wants his car repaired. They can't repair it. So it's not his fault they can't repair it. So he should be able to go to a repairer of his own choice and have it fixed. And that, to me, is the end of story. But anyway, that's something that, coming over the future months, I want to challenge. I actually would love nothing more than trying to challenge some of these things. But what I'm going to need from there is, I need help from you guys in the industry. I really need you guys to try and, give me some help by joining the repairers crash clinic, so we can actually put something behind this. I would love to take it to task. I really would. And I will, we'll follow the story along for all of us to share, because it's all of us. We're all in this same boat. Remember that. It's all of us that are having these same problems. The ABP this week, of course, we had, I did see a message there from David Creswell. jumping up, telling us about he said here that there's a 500% increase in annual gas, the gas price for didn't say the repair centre, but he said they'd gone from £26,000 gas a year to 136. Outrageous. I think it's disgusting. But that's the problems I've been arcing on for ages. I've been saying 3 months ago, 4 months ago, what are we going to do? Because this is going to suddenly hit us really hard. And guess what, guys? It's hitting us really hard. So we need to really, our prices have to go up. Airplanes, other people are going on strikes. Maybe could you imagine if we had a week of doing no repairs in this industry? Just to show the insurers, hey, you do realize that if this industry gets any worse and more body shops go, this is the problem you're going to have. And I think if we all stopped and went on strike for a week or something just to try and show them, I don't know, I'm just throwing ideas out there. Maybe it would work, maybe it wouldn't, but something's got to happen because like this hasn't stopped yet. The gas and these other prices are going through the roof, which is quite frightening and quite scary, I think. Has anybody else really noticed that yet? Have you sort of seen that massive impact? Or I know this is a big repairer that's working it all out there, which is good. Lee Johnson, can't he involve the ombudsman? Aren't the insurers scared of them as it costs them? Well, that's Lee. What I'm doing is just like you've said, that I think, again, this is why we all need to talk. And I think we should, every time we get a problem with an insurer, I think we should all try and get the customer to put in that complaint and at least cost the insurers a lot of money, because they've got to sit there and think, crikey, we're giving that much to the ombudsman. Why don't we just knock this on the head? Would they? I actually think they'd rather give the money to the ombudsman than they would to us, which is quite naughty. LinkedIn user, evening all. Don't know who it is because it's just come up with LinkedIn user, so sorry about that. Matthew Cooper, he just said, oh, what about our trade association, MBRA, doing to support us and fight our corner with the additional excesses? Great point there, Matthew Cooper. I'm trying to get Chris Weeks to come on the show very soon. So it would be nice to have a list of questions that we'd like to sort of say, what are MBRA doing about this? How are you guys going to help us? Because then, again, like joining the Crash Clinic, the idea is for us to connect and be regularly in contact with each other, trying to help each other out. MBRA, what are you doing? I haven't joined it yet. I'd like to think if they're helping us, I would want to join. It's just like I think you guys should be joining the Crash Clinic, because I'm funding all this at the moment myself, but I'd like to do bigger things. And I can't do it all on my own, of course. I don't think it's quite that fair, but I'll leave that down to you guys. So don't forget to go over to Crash Clinic and sign up. It's only $39.99 a month, but that keeps the website running, keeps the app running, and I will put the cost into taking stuff to task. I promise you that. It's something I love doing anyway, but you just have to pick the right fight. Gary Barker is closer at the AA. Gary, can you clarify why the AA is charging a double excess to its own customers when your own repairers don't have capacity? Is this in compliance with it? Oh, fantastic. Timmy's already on it. What a star. I love that, because it is wrong and it's a real big shame for that customer. It's something I'm supposed to be speaking to him tomorrow again, because it's just wrong, isn't it? But there you go. That's insurers for you. We all know that. Right, I can't show you because I can't, for some reason. Now I'm in Spain. I don't know if it's picked up the IP address, but it's telling me that I can't share the screen, which is quite weird, which is a bit of a shame, because I'm just going to see, actually, can I? Let's see. No, it keeps telling me no every time I try and share it. It says can't do it. You need to unlock the screen by selecting the lock in the bottom left corner. I don't know where there's a lock, but anyway, I'm going to tell you what it is, because I'll try and fix this for next week. Restart Chrome. I can't do that, so I'll have to fix it after. But anyway, so after doing some more of these polls, I wanted to ask and find out who did non-fault accidents, because I had some really strange stats come back from some of the questions that we asked, and I'll quickly explain that from there now. I can't show you the polls, unfortunately, but I asked, as a repairer, do you get any non-fault accident repairs? 92% of the repairers said they do. So for me, that's pretty much every repairer gets non-fault accident work. And I then wanted to go a step further. So I actually asked, do you, although you get non-fault accident repairs, do you convert non-fault accident repairs? And what do you prefer doing? So yeah, a massive 92% get the work. 92%, I asked who prefers doing fault or non-fault work. 86% said they prefer to do non-fault accident work, which is, I get that. I prefer to do it because I get a larger amount of money. I get not a larger amount of money. I'm going to try and word this properly, because a lot of people try and make the non-fault accident scene sound wrong. I actually believe I get what I should for my repair. People aren't taking away my percentages. They're not knocking off discounts here and there and everywhere, and I'm not providing a courtesy car. So it's a massive benefit to my business, I believe, and I can charge the right amount of money to repair a car. I don't overcharge an insurer. I actually charge what I think is right. It's going to go up at the moment because it needs to, but I think it's very, very important to get non-fault work into your repair centre. Lee Johnson, if it wasn't for the non-fault work, we would have gone pop a long while ago. Lee, I couldn't agree with you anymore. This is what I'm saying. We need non-fault repairs, because I believe that's what we should be charging. I actually think take that non-fault model over to the fault accident scenario, and none of us would be on air moaning. I wouldn't have crash kit, it wouldn't need it. We'd be flying. But we're not, of course. So I do believe, though, that the non-fault work is the best work out there that we can get. But this is, again, got really sort of funny for it. So I actually said, do you convert all of your non-fault work? So we've got 90%-ish that like to do the work, get the work, about 80-something percentage that prefer to do it. And then we've got 75% that convert it. So there's 26% or 25% that still don't convert non-fault accident work, which I think is a little bit crazy. But you'll see where I'm going with this in a minute. So non-fault and fault should all be a retail rate, not the subsidised rate provided to repairers. Exactly, Tim. I think we all agree on that, and that should be the non-fault work, like Lee has just said. Without that, we would have gone pop ages ago. So it proves that is, we're all sitting at the moment saying, are we charging, should we be charging? What is the new labour rate we should be charging? With everything else going up, where are we going to increase our rates? The non-fault model is the right model, in my opinion. But again, trying to switch that because insurers think it's inflated. It's not inflated. It's the right amount. It's just fault work is deflated. And that to me is the reality. Non-fault work is charged correctly and fault work is deflated by insurers. But they'll tell you the other way around. Insurers will tell you that, the non-fault rate's right, and we, us naughty, nasty people in the non-fault world increase it. It's wrong. Totally wrong. And I agree with you there, Tim, totally, that it should be the same. Now, obviously, because of that, it made me then, it brought me on to ask the question, because it's out there, do you think the credit hire industry is good or bad? Because there's a kind of vibe around non-fault work that, as I say, insurers try to say it's a bad, it's a bad word, and they don't like non-fault stuff, and it's a bit weird like that. But the stats came back really strange. When I've just told you there that 90% said they get the work, 86% said they convert the work. Just going to jump into Phil Shedden, because Phil's just said non-fault work is the difference between having and not having a body shop business. I couldn't agree more. People vilify the non-fault industry, which I find very odd. Agree fully with Tim's statement above. However, this statement is used regularly as a stick to beat the non-fault idea, bizarrely. Absolutely there, Phil. Couldn't agree with you more. And as I said, with these stats, I wish I could get them on the screen. Big apologies because I'm in Spain, but the stats here, I'm just reading them. They should have been showing there. Just jump on to Tim again. That should have said insurers at the end. You charge what you wish and what is suitable for your business. What insurers see as inflated is the correct rate, whilst everything else is at a reduced cost. Exactly what I just said there, Tim. The insurer's fault rate is a deflated cost. Without a doubt, without a doubt. But yes, so really, really oddly, when I asked if this was a good or a bad thing, it turned out that 65% of people and I'm assuming that this is pretty much the same people that are, joining in on all the polls, because it was around the same day the poll was done. 65% said they thought it was bad. Now that blew my mind. I was like, wow, okay, so non-faults they do the work, they convert the work, but out of that 65% think non-fault accidents are bad. Now that I don't get. That blew my mind and made me think, wow, why do people think that non-fault accidents are bad? Again, anybody who's on at the moment, if you can let me know your opinion, because anyone out there that may have ticked that as bad, I'm really intrigued and really interested to know why we think this non-fault industry is bad. Don't get it, because for me, I think it's great. I think the customers get a fantastic service that they should get, and I think that's again something we're missing, where insurers don't look after their customers properly. I think when we do a non-fault claim, the customer is really looked after properly. Phil said 65% didn't understand the question. Yeah, I agree with that, Phil. Because it did blow my mind. I'm thinking maybe I'll try and reword that next week, because the question actually said, what did it say? It said, do you think the credit hire industry is good or bad? But I think that's quite open enough to understand. But yeah, I like that, because I was just blown with it. So wow. Tim says the credit hire is a positive thing bound by law when discussing credit hire. This is for the benefit of consumers who cannot afford to hire a vehicle or pay for the repairs themselves. Very much so, Tim. But I actually think the service that they get is better than a fault accident service. So why shouldn't they use it? They're getting the service they should deserve. This customer in the AA that I'm dealing with now, had he had a non-fault accident, he'd be in a car, he'd been repaired, it'd be done. But because he's got fault accident, got a claim on his own insurance that he's paid fully camped for, so he wants to be fully insured, he's getting a terrible service. And it's just so wrong. Lee Johnson, we also bend over backwards for the non-fault jobs as we're paid fairly. Yeah, exactly, meaning everybody wins. And again, we're back to that. For me, the non-fault service is, everyone should be fighting for that work. Bad for the excessive hire car charges. Matthew, yes, but you see the big thing with the industry, I'm going to talk a lot about credit hire over the next weeks, because and I'll lead on to why in a minute, because there's a lot of repairers still say they don't really understand the industry. But it's some companies charge excessively and some don't. So, but with insurers, you can't win, because the whole industry has changed now, and it's changed about what's called a basic hire rate. However, they've done that they managed to change a law that made it now that if you're, and I won't bore you on it tonight because it's quite a long process for me to be able to tell you all about non-fault accidents. And if you think the fault accident world is crazy, the non-fault accident world has blown my mind, because I wrote the ABI GTA process 20 years ago in 2001, and it's just total different beast since that day. And the reason, I'll tell you the reason I wrote it in the next series is of what I'm going to do, but that's going to be over on Auto Claims, another channel that I've got where I'm going to explain all about it. Very interesting though. It is all about impecuniosity. Please don't start me, Tim, because that's what I'll be going into very soon on the non-fault accidents, to tell you all about it. Paid wishful thinking. I'm off out. I'll comment further on my return, Tim. No problem. Fantastic, mate. You have a great night out. But yes, we will be jumping all over the non-fault accidents process and everything very soon, because I was quite shocked that so many people for a start thought it was bad. Blew my mind. But then I actually asked, would you like to know more about accident claims? 60% said yes, they would. So that's quite, for me, it's still quite a high number of people that don't understand non-fault accidents. And then I've got how much do you know about credit hire? And we got a good 30, 40, 65% again said they don't know much about it. So actually it made me think I'm going to start telling you guys about the industry, a lot more about it, because I think like Lee said, it is the saving grace for a repair centre, in my opinion, in Lee's opinion, and I'm pretty sure for many others, it is a saving grace in this industry. So I'm going to jump on about that. I'm not going to go on about it anymore, but I am going to tell you in the coming months, watch out for it, because I'm hopefully going to start it probably next week when I'm not quite so ill, because my head's a little bit muffled at the moment. But we'll come back to that, because it is, to me, the saving grace of our industry. So we'll come back to that very soon. Another thing that I thought was absolutely outrageous, I put out a post that said, do you get paid on time for your repairs? And it came back that 80%, and there's quite a lot of votes on that, 80% said no. So 80% of us, if you actually think you're getting paid on time by these insurers who are already taking a load of money off you that they shouldn't be, and the accident management companies that are bleeding you dry, they're not even paying you on time. Wow, 80%. That's a massive amount of people who aren't getting paid on time, which I think, again, is just wrong. And I think, again, you've got to understand that the whole idea of Crash Clinic is to bring us together. We should be naming and shaming these people. In the old days when they used to hang things out saying somebody owes me money to shame them, we need to be doing something on Crash Clinic here, because Crash Clinic's growing fast. And, you know, we need to be naming and shaming these people who aren't paying their bills quick enough, because it's terrible when your margins are narrow. You need your money on time to survive. And I think it's a disgrace, because it's a knock-on effect. Your staff have to be paid, and everyone does. And I just think, wow. Anyway, Tracy Wixon, how you doing? Nice to see you on. Flying Colours have referred a non-fault claim to Darren at AutoClaims today, because we know they will look after our customer and do a quality repair. AutoClaims have been providing a great service for years. Fantastic, Tracy. Thank you. And that's obviously appreciated. Again, because like we just said to me, it's the saving grace of a repair centre. So I'm going to bring that out and give you guys a lot more knowledge on all about non-fault accidents and why you should be doing as many of them as you can. Lee Johnson, getting paid is a dirty word for some work providers. I actually was quite shocked, to be fair. Like, you know, when I realised 80% of us aren't getting paid on time, and we're doing something now every week where we're looking out for every single invoice, and we're actually having to check everything, make sure it's been paid. And we started to note quite a lot that hadn't been paid. I lost my bookkeeper in the middle of COVID, and we haven't replaced him yet. So I actually thought they were paying us. And when we started to look at it, it was like, wow. So we've actually put a lot of pressure on chasing money in, because I just thought, wow, not only are you taking all our money, you're not paying us quick enough. Disgusting. But we definitely need to name and shame them somehow. And then at least we can all find out which are the people that are doing that, and maybe we can all bombard them with a load of pressure and make them sort it out. Phil Shannon, Direct Line, and anyone associated with them, Marcus Study also. Terrible. Fantastic. So that's the things we need to be doing. Direct Line should be ashamed of yourself, and so should you, Marcus Study, especially when you're only paying repairers £28 an hour or £29 an hour with a discount off, making it about 26 quid or 24. Did we work it out? £24.80, and you're not paying it on time? Wow. I'm sorry, but it blows my mind. Disgraceful. Paul Ives, how you doing, buddy? As a technician, it doesn't make a difference if it's a fault or non-fault job. It's repaired the same. It doesn't name fault on the job card. Yeah, I'll give you that, Paul. But for us, it does. In my repair centre, it does, because it's a non-fault job and the job is in, and it goes ahead of everything. It goes ahead of everything, because we've got to look after the hire. We've got to make sure we don't charge too much. And this is where I will touch on the whole process of non-fault accidents, and I'll tell you why they're so good. But it's just a way of looking at them and looking after them. It's the insurers that make a non-fault claim bad. It's insurers, just like they are with the fault. You know, these insurers blame everybody, but it's the insurers that cause the problems. It's the insurers that create their own their own problems. And I'm going to prove that to you over the next few weeks, again, on a slightly different show when this cold's gone. LinkedIn user, send them an invoice for late payment. See, this is something else. What happened to the late payment? You get fined. I'm just challenging a work provider at the moment for being fined for apparently doing something late that's not been done late. Absolutely. So I actually wrote to them and said, the same token, I've just realised you've got 4 or 5 invoices, you haven't paid them on yet. Can I have a late fee on that, please? And interest as well. If it works one way, why shouldn't it work the other? I don't know. You know this industry. It can drive you crazy at times. Lee Johnson, Motor Repair Network, Activate Group, absolutely shameful. See, this is what I'd actually like to have a list of these and put them on our page, on the social network, on the web page, so we can all talk about it. I think we should start a group on there called the late payment, so we can find out who it is and who's causing these problems, and maybe they should be, paying us some interest, or maybe we can take them to the FCA, something that needs to kick them and make them better, because it's just wrong. Let's face it, you could be running week to week and you've got your wages to pay, and you could say, well, actually, I had 20 grand due in from this customer, but they haven't paid me yet, and it's just wrong. Naughty. But yes, I was quite shocked at those stats that 80% of us don't get paid on time. Absolutely woeful. When doing a repair, do you cover the courtesy car on your insurance? Again, this is something else that infuriates me, if you like, because 40% of repairers are putting courtesy cars on their own policy. So you have customers driving around on your insurance policy. And if you're a business person in business, you should understand that my biggest overhead is my insurance. My biggest bill of the year is my insurance. So I have to protect it, as much as I can. But you're allowing people, and insurers again are allowing people to drive around. We have to also insure a customer's car while it's at our premises being worked on. None of this makes sense to me. It's just, again, it's all about putting everything on the poor repairer. That courtesy, while we insure someone's car while it's on our premises, they should be insuring our car. It's quite simple. They've got an insurable interest in that car. We've got an insurable interest in theirs whilst we're repairing it. And that's, to me, it should be just automatically swapped. And that's the only fair way I can think. I just think it's outrageous again that it's all chucked on us. Terrible, terrible, terrible. Phil, again, let's have a look. Yes, AGL are one of the main contributing factors for Crossley's group. Was that the one who's just gone, Phil? Because we're trying to find out who's just gone bust, because I know there's somebody mentioned that 2 big repairers have gone bust very recently, but I'm not 100% who that was because I'm still in Spain, of course, can't get to find out. Appalling outfit with average commission taken at around 47%, on par, if not worse than Vision. Wow, and that's AGL. So anyone out there, if you're doing AGL work, you really need to, and I'm going to presume that's Activate Group. No, is that the same one? But you need to look at your contract drastically. That's outrageous. And I do think it's quite scary how many people in the next coming 6 months are going to still be here and how many are going to be, it's frightening. And I don't want to frighten anyone anymore because I think we all know it's pretty bad. Day insure, Colin. Yeah, I know there is day insurances, but again, why should we? I hope you get what I'm saying. Is why should we, the insurer? We've already, when a customer's car comes in my repair centre, same as yours, we have to cover that car. That car is covered while it's with us. They then take our car, and we have to cover that as well. If you get what I'm saying, I just think it's so wrong. It should be an automatic. When an insurer repairs a car, it's automatically transferred. So when it's a different insurer, they don't do it. Again, I think that needs taking to task. I really do. I think we need to go. The only way you can beat this with insurers is to go to court on something legal and get it won, get the case won, and then it becomes the way forward, because I just think all of this is a disgrace in our industry at the moment. Insurers should be ashamed. Something simple. We insure the customer's car, you insure ours, and it shouldn't be another cost on us. And all these things would help us, because you have a couple of accidents on your insurance, guys, and your insurance is going through the roof. Lee Johnson, do you think these accident management companies treat us so bad? So we go pop, then they buy us out for next to nothing, opening their own shops in our place, then create a closed network. Well, all seems to be out. Yeah, you know what, Lee? I think it's time to find out again. This is something else. That's a very clever thing to say. Are they doing it on purpose? Because you've got the fix autos go around trying to buy people when they're in trouble. That was always their business model when they started. And what accident management companies have got body shops? I think again this would be very good to find out who's got them. Because you're right, it could be a massive plan of theirs, because that's the way they're going to become a monopoly. But again, I did see a post where what's his name, Richard Steer, was moaning about the costs of his bills going up and how it was, in such a bad way of, tripling these the bills. But if you're not making enough money, that's the reason. So these groups, I just don't believe they're making as much money. Sometimes you get investors coming in to make it a bigger picture and sell it and then get their money. Maybe that's their agenda, and maybe it's the same with these groups. But who are they? But again, we need to, AGL Activate Group. So that's quite a, if anyone's out there watching, AGL Activate Group sounds quite a scary one. Then if that's 47%, no wonder they'd be bust. And that's a real shame. Again, oh no, Crossways went early in the year. Of course they did. I think I actually spoke about it. Again, I'm full of the flu, so big apologies. But now it was Motor Care. Wow, is that the 2? Because I think there was 2 this week. Real shame. I hate to see it, but How do Motorcare get credit on parts when they may owe thousands as Crosleys? So how do they get credit on parts? I don't know, because I'm led to believe they've just gone bust. Don't know, but frightening. Phil, agreed totally. There are good ones too. We work for a few of them. Fantastic. Share the news. Everybody needs a good work provider. But again, there's only a few by the sound of it. So it's a bit of a shame. They signed the contracts. LinkedIn user, don't know who you are, of course. There's no name there, but you're 100% right. Sometimes it's in desperation. You think, especially after COVID, I really believe COVID's had a lot to play in this, because loads of us came back with empty workshops because of it. And then it's like, oh no, I need to, you had customers go bust. And then you think, I've got to get some working. I'm going to hold my hands up, no different to anybody else. I did the same thing. We took a couple of the contracts, but realized within a month or two, ouch, they've got to go. So we got rid of them very quickly. I think you need to jump on it and make sure that you're making money out of that contract or not, or you've got to get rid of it, because it's going to push you under. You're probably better to, if 47% off an invoice, you're losing money. 100%. I think everyone's going to agree with that. You're losing money. It's better to open your workshop and have it empty, because at least you're not losing money on it. Or buy and sell a car. Just do something rather than it's woeful, and it's such a shame. Such a shame. It's true. I think insurers and accident management. Terry, how you doing, buddy? You all right? And accident management companies consider writing on the wall reference capacity, and could be possibly setting up Steer, AGL. Yeah. So I mean, which of the groups that are actually buying, setting up their own body shops? Are AGL doing that? Didn't know they were. But it'd be interesting again to know, because we can start to see. Let's face it, that Crash Clinic is for us to come together and share information. That's the whole point of it. We've never been able to do this. But now we can share the information, and I'm really interested to know who it is. Again, we all need to see a pattern. We all need to see what's going on out there, and by us all sharing this information, that's how we get to see what's going on. So please, if anybody does know, of course, share that information. But more so, I'm going to make Crash Clinic, the website itself, even better, because we really need to get onto that site and start talking. Because again, it's behind closed doors. We can really open up, we can really talk and share information, who's good, who's bad, and who we should avoid, and who's not paying at the moment, and whatever problems we've got. Because I think that's, I mean, I couldn't believe it when somebody was nicking 50 quid for a late payment, a late something late. We haven't done anything late, but it was 4 jobs, 200 quid, another 200 quid. It's just wrong. So we need to share this information, guys, to between ourselves, to keep us all on top of everything. Contracts signed by bean counters rather than those running the show. Yeah, that can also happen, of course. Yeah, not going to disagree with that. But yeah, it's going to be interesting to see. And I think we could all do with sharing as much information as we can. Is this the pattern, what they're up to? Try and get us out the water. But then things are getting so tough around the world, let alone just in our industry. Aeroplanes are going on strike, trains are going on strike, everyone's going on strike. Maybe it's time sometimes you've got to make insurers realize how much we are actually needed. It might be time for us to sort of say, just throwing it out there, guys. Love to hear from you guys what you think we should be doing, but I know we are going to have to take drastic action at some stage, I'm telling you. I have a few customers. I have so few customers, it leaves me exposed. I know this, but I'd rather that than hemorrhaging money. Terry, I couldn't agree with you anymore. I don't think, we're realizing that all these big contracts, you're just a bit, are we just busy fools? And I think most of us are actually saying now we are. But again, because we're sharing this information, I think a lot of people are starting to kick these into touch, because I think you need to, really think you need to. And I think that hopefully will hurt them a bit, and something's got to change. It's how we're going to get to that change that's the problem. But I think the non-fault stuff, again, is massive. Like Lee said, a big saving grace for your industry and for your repair shop. So I'll be touching on a lot on that in the next few weeks. I saw a contract this week that fine you £100 for a complaint and £100 for not submitting an invoice within 3 days of completion. There you go. So if you get a complaint as 100 quid and you submit it 4 days, that's 200 quid out the job. You can't afford to lose that money. You can't. You just not with what you're giving away already. You add that onto the 400%. 47% you're already losing or whatever. Oh, crikey, man. A lot of owners think a busybody shop is a profitable shop. Yeah, I was this guy until a few years back. Lee, well done. Sometimes you have to go through that to learn it yourself, don't you? Which you've obviously done. You've gone through, you've had the problems, you've realized, and now you've come back and said, no, I'm not going to do that anymore. And know your worth, because there's a lot of great body shops out there. We do a great job. We do a great service in this industry, and it is knowing our worth. And I think we get paid peanuts for what we do. And the next biggest thing you're going to have is staff. You know, we're not the only people having the problems. All of our staff are having the problems. Their bills are going up outrageously. I'm listening to the news at the moment. I'm away on holiday in Spain, and it's like all I can hear is problems, gas, electric, still tripling, quadrupling this time next year. It's like mortgage rates going up, bank rates going up. How can you help your staff when, you know, it's going to come? It's going to come, and it's going to be a shame, guys. So we really do need to try and talk and share any information we can with each other. Good to see you. Saw the light, Lee. It's incredible how many body shops I speak with who think the same. A busy yard means profits. No. And it doesn't matter how busy you get. Sometimes you think you can make more, you know, I don't know, do something on all these jobs, repair a few extra things and make more money. You can't. It just becomes busy fool. Colin Keeler, Admiral used to fine you complaints and give the insured compensation. And oh man, it gets worse. It's probably because they get charged a £300 for a complaint if it goes down the FCA route or what have you. But frightening. I really believe, and I'm saying this, you know, at the moment, all these insurers, again, this is where on here we should be naming these insurers that are on. All the insurers that are stopping us getting work, all the insurers that are stopping us are doubling our excesses to our customers. We need to get the customers. I'm doing a standard template letter. I've got 2 or 3 of them now. One's for a non-excess. I've got the first letter, the second letter, the third letter. I'm doing the same now for anyone trying to pinch work. And we should do this and send it in to get the complaint, because that's £300 to £800, I think it is, they get to pay. And if we all did this on every single claim, remember there's 80% of us have had work taken away and the excess problem. 80%, that's most of us, to be honest. So if every single person that happens to, we make them make a complaint, let's face it, they're the customer. So if we tell them how bad it is and we give them the letter to send, they'll send that letter. And if we can do that and cost the insurers, I'm sorry if there's any insurers out there listening, I'll just, you know, you're being a disgrace to us. You're treating us so badly, you deserve it back. So I think we should do that. We should send those complaint letters in and get them charged for it. At least let them say, you know, we've got to fight back. It's as simple as that. Who does their work anymore? Yeah, tell me about it, I bet. Frightening, absolutely frightening. This industry, just, you know, for the love. Right, I wish I could share these with you so you could see it. Something else that's really racking my brains at the moment. Do you order parts in advance for a drivable repairs? Vein of thought a few years ago, yes. At the moment, we've had 3 jobs now where the job's been cancelled, can't send the parts back. Because you've got to remember at the moment, because of the parts delays, we're having people saying, I won't supply the order. You're going to have most of the order until that one part comes in. So this is on one job. We've ordered it. The parts come in a month or 2 later. I've actually paid for the parts. I had my credit on them and everything, and the job's still not even in the repair centre. Then the job doesn't come in, gets cancelled. I'm now stuck with the parts. I've had another job where the insurer, it was a repairable proposition, and the insurer's now pushed it over to a total loss. I can't get the money back for the parts. I'm trying, fighting like mad. What I'm getting at here now, I've got about 8 grand's worth of parts sat around, no cars to repair it with. And I really think, again, especially because of the problem getting parts, I think this is wrong. I think we should be getting the cars in, then ordering the parts, because I'm trying to look at it on a bigger scale, and I'm getting a bit annoyed now, saying, well, hold on, how many more jobs is this going to happen with? We haven't got the funds anymore to do this, because we've got so many jobs on order that aren't even in. You know, I'm outlaying 5 grand here, 5 grand there, 8 grand there, and these jobs aren't in, the parts aren't in. There's back orders on these. I've told you the other week, we've got 1 to November. It's like, wow, and all this money's out. Oh, I just think it's wrong again. Why do we do it? Frightening. Phil, shop I posted about on my feed today had several contracts. A £28, £30 an hour. CC claims, companies on most jobs, etc. We quickly reduced and eventually removed them and replaced them with fantastic. £50 to £67.50 contracts, and they've posted record profits for 4 months. Phil, fantastic, mate. Well done. It's the only way. In my opinion, they are repairing a couple more cars a week than they were admittedly. Now they are more efficient, but only a couple. That couple can make all the difference, can't it? So yeah, but making more than twice the profits, absolutely fantastic, Phil. And a credit to you. Well done, buddy. I'm still going to come and see you when I come back. Definitely going to come down and have a chat. Lee, another joke, ordering parts before jobs here. Basically, we are giving the insurers more credit. I mean, Lee, you're speaking my language. Exactly what I'm saying is we are funding it all again. We're the ones getting the fines. We're the ones covering the cars on insurance. We're the ones that are taking the brunt of everything. And it absolutely drives me crazy. Because we can't, I've got a non-fault job where the the company said, we want you to order the parts in advance. And I've said, no, I'll get the car in, then I'll order the parts. But then we can't justify the hire and all this. I'm like, well, but it's real. I yet to, again, this is going to come out in the non-fault section of what we're going to start talking about. But why should I have to order parts in advance to save a hire for someone else? I shouldn't, should I? Because my process is I get the car in to guarantee I've got that job, and then I order the parts. That makes sense. It's like even the parts centers, they want you to pay for the parts before they'll order the parts because they don't want to get called short with it. So again, that makes sense, and I don't blame them. But why do we, as repairers, have to order the parts and wait for the job to come in? It's just wrong again. We're ending up being, all we are is banks for these insurers, which is frightening. I just think it's wrong on all levels. So yeah, again, something else that needs to be looked at. All non-fault contracts, yeah, definitely, without a doubt. I could tell that from the labour rates, to be fair, Phil, but that's what you've got to fight for. That's what I said earlier. You need to fight for those better contracts that are paying you. The parts is a real issue, particularly when some suppliers are trying to reduce the credit terms lately. We've got one, I'll tell you who it is because it's quite open, Westway Nissan. We were their approved repairers for something like 15 years before they moved out of the local area to us. They don't give anybody credit anymore. They moved out. I wrote to them and said, why am I paying for my parts? And they said, we don't give credit no more. We're not doing it. Wow. So when we're looking at our industry and the problems that we're facing, I mean, who's going to sort of follow suit with that? People are getting scared. It's not just us. I know we're having a bad time, but other companies are having a bad time too. I actually believe in the next sort of 12 to 18 months, I believe you'll probably see another insurer go bust. Although that's supposed to be all protected now. There's that many been bust over the years, but it never is. Someone gets caught out with it. But yeah, so it's Westway will soon have no customers. Exactly, Phil. I've actually put the kibosh on that and said, don't order any parts from them anymore. We can't do it. And I'm actually going around now trying to open up more accounts with more suppliers because I think the parts issue, once you've got a couple of these jobs that aren't, back ordered for so long, and then you switch to get more jobs in because you've got to keep trying to turn the wheels. That part, everything's becoming a bigger problem for us. And I think the parts is becoming a bigger problem too. We're starting to have so much outlaid in parts alone. It's astronomical. And these insurers say they want to help us. This is what I keep saying. There's loads of ways they could help, but by even funding part of the parts up front, and I think they should, to get a car repaired. But they're not going to do it for us independents anyway, are they? They're not going to help us. They double the excesses when it's our customers. They try and take work out your workshop. So they're not going to try and help us. I don't get why they don't try and help us. We've been here for donkey's years and we give them a bloody good service. I don't get it, but it's wrong. So again, something else we need to try and sort out. There are schemes and parts providers out there that can help with these issues, locating new suppliers and getting larger discounts for shops. Are people aware of these? Phil, please, Crash Clinic that's what this is for. Please share the information. I'll post it on the Crash Clinic website as well. That's exactly what this is about, trying to help each other because no one's perfect. No one's got all the answers, but between us we have. And if we share information, it's valuable information. So yeah, well done with that, Phil. Fantastic. Paul, you can't blame them. My old company, Auto Crash Repairs, were owed TPS around 25 grand. Yeah. Again, did they go bust, Paul? Probably. That's what we're saying is we've got that much money outstanding to get in, and having to pay for the parts. It's horrible. It's horrible. And I can't blame them for doing it. No, Paul, you're right, because they need their money. But at the same token, that leaves us exposed. It's always us exposed or footing the bill. Absolutely outrageous. But Phil, come when you get back down and let's grab a coffee. Absolutely, Phil. Can't wait to do that, of course. Looking forward to it. We might have a great catch up. Right, last couple. And I'm sorry I can't share them. It's a bit of a shame. Have you encountered an insurer wanting to move a car from your garage? 86% of us, again, this is what I'm back to, have encountered that. So that's a massive amount of people that have had jobs moved out of their repair centres. So again, something else, in my opinion, needs challenging. I'm happy to challenge this, but again, I need some help to do that. And by that, I'm saying you guys need to please join up to Crash Clinic. It's only $39.99 a month. That helps me fund the site. And if I can get a pot of money, I will challenge these issues and try and get them gone. Happy to do it if you guys are happy to back me with that. So again, keep thinking, because I'm here for the industry. I think you know that, guys. I'm not here about myself. I'm not here trying to charge massive amounts monthly to make my life better. I'm here to try and help everybody for the same thing. So right, one of the last ones that did shock me, to be fair, I asked if you were worried about the future of your repair centre. I'm worried about the future of my repair centre, and I've been here for 30 plus years because of everything, gas, parts, all these issues we're talking about is a worry. But it turned around that 60% said no. So I was like, wow. So again, there was 65 votes on that. So it's quite a big poll, but I was quite shocked at the amount of people who aren't worried. So I'd like to know why you're not worried, because I think everybody should be worried, and not just in our industry at the minute with the way everything's going up. It's quite a frightening time, but that just blew my mind. 86, I wish I could share the screen with you. Sorry, 60% of repair owners are not worried about the future. It's like blimey. So some interesting stats again, guys, obviously, and some great comments, some great talk. I do love every week we come up with something different. Next week, obviously, I've got to get to start the non-fault. I know a lot of people out there, it turned out to be at least 50 to 60% of the people wanted to know more about non-fault accidents. I'm going to explain to you the history from the start, how it used to be, all about third-party insurances, because many years ago, you probably realised when you were younger that, everybody was third-party insured. You don't hear of it anymore. Ever wondered why? I'm going to come across all of that, tell you why it's gone, where it disappeared. It's all to do with credit hire, of course, all to do with non-fault accidents. I absolutely love them. It's been like I say, it's been my saving grace, as Lee said as well. And obviously Phil has already just said that he's helping these repair centres get better. So massive, massive plus to us. I think that should be the norm in our industry. Whether that ever happens one day, we'll do our best to try and change the industry into that. And I'll cover why in the next few videos, of course, and then you can join me on this other chat, which is all about non-fault accidents, credit hire, and our industry again, but from another angle. And I think it's good for every repair centre to understand that and where the value is in it for non-fault accidents, but it's for customers and for everything. But we'll cover that very soon. Tracy, maybe they're not worried because they're all planning on doing a run out. You're probably right there. That's horrible, but you know what I mean? You just never know, do you? Yeah, build it up, get in the debt, close the doors. It's been known in the past. But Tracy, you can't say that. Oh dear, funny times. Right. Hope everyone's enjoying the weather. Have a cracking week back at home, guys. Obviously, I'll be live again next Tuesday with some more information. And I look forward to seeing you all very soon. Have a great evening. And I just don't know what to say in Spanish. Is it no, au revoir is French, is it? My head is bad. You can probably hear I'm full of the flu. But guys and girls, have a fantastic evening, fantastic week. More importantly, make lots of money. Don't forget to join Crash Clinic. If I can help this industry, it's going to be through Crash Clinic. I'd like to build a pot of money where I can challenge all these horrible issues that are going to benefit all of us. And but I need your help. So, let me know if you can go across and get joined up. It only takes a couple of minutes to sign up, and then we can start using that site when the app comes out, and we can start having some fantastic chats, learning, helping each other, which will be invaluable going forward, invaluable for the future. So yeah, let's see you next week, and take care, gang. Lee, thanks very much. I'll enjoy my holiday once this cold goes. Andrew, great to see you, matey. Thanks. Hats off to your comment, being on holiday and giving your time. No problem at all. there, Andrew. That's very kind of you. But yeah, we just got to keep this going now. This momentum has to keep going. So guys, Brett, everyone who's been on tonight, thank you. Appreciate it, of course. Please sign up to the site, because that's what's going to help us. It's going to help me to do better things for you. And I'm pretty sure you know enough about me now to know that I want to take this to task. I really do. And I'll explain it every week, what I'm doing and what's happening with the insurers as well. It would be great. Terry Monaghan, yeah, back to the beach then. You're not far. I'm going to finish my gin and tonic and go and pour another one. Why not? Have fun, guys. We'll see you next week. Take care, everyone. Great to see you. Cheers, Barry. All the best, gang. We'll see you next week. Take care. Over and out.